Right, guys, so in this video, I'm going to show you a client interview that I've done with one of the coaches that I've been working with for the past 3 months. So her name is Surabhi. She helps Indian immigrant women in the US to lose weight, gain strength, and just live a healthier lifestyle. So when she first came to me, she was already posting content for few months. She just quit her 9 to 5 job and she's trying to build this online coaching business. But she didn't really have much clue in terms of content, in terms of the online coaching business, right? She sort of know who she's trying to target. She's trying to speak to them in her content, but she just didn't know how to position herself as the authority. She didn't know how to craft her messaging in order to attract those people, not just any random people, the right people who's ready to work with her, to reach out and inquire for her coaching, right? So she was posting consistently. So when she reached out, the first thing that we got clear on when we started working together is her messaging, right? So we get clear on what type of Indian immigrant lady in the US that she's trying to help, what exactly she can help them with, and then we get clear in terms of how do we actually speak to them in order to draw them to reach out and inquire about her offer, right? Not just consuming her content. And we also get clear in terms of her offer, what her true value is. So when she get clear on all this, creating content becomes easier, right? So we started off with about 350 followers when she first reached out, right? Even though she was posting for months and she barely worked with any clients back then, she was working with just like some friends and family that is around her circles, and she was just barely charging anything. I think she was only charging about $50 a month, right? Compared to now, she is sitting around 1,500 followers, and she's able to charge $1,000 package now for 3 months, right? And these are clients that reach out to her, not she reaching out to them, and she's getting consistent leads, inbound leads, even with just 1,500 followers, because we get that clarity. And at the same time, she's not posting more, right? She's actually posting about the same, about 3 to 4 times a week, while cutting half of the time that she took to create content. And in her own words in this video, you'll be able to see she said that she used to, her mind wasn't able to shut off. She's always constantly thinking about what can I post next, what can I post next. But now she knows she has the right process, the right tools. So she just have to spend about an hour a week to plan out her content. And that's all she need because of the amount of clarity that she has now, the amount of support and the tools that I've given her, and a clear cut process that she can just follow through to create content that not just get views but actually speak to the right clients, right? So I don't want to speak too much on this. I'll let you watch through the video, and if you need help with your content, and if you want to learn the entire blueprint, the system that we use, there should be a link down below. If not, you can reach out to me on Instagram as well, and if you need help, just reach out and we'll have a chat. All right. So without I'm not gonna talk anymore. I'll let you watch the video.
All right. So my name is Surabhi. I'm based in Seattle, US. I used to be in tech. I had a very different career, and then in last couple of years, I pivoted from being in tech to now into fitness industry. Fitness is something which has been my passion for too long, and this is something I always had back in my mind, but I never had the courage to take a step towards it. And Ching's account, and like what I'm focused on right now is Indian women who are in US. So I am a fitness and nutrition coach for those women, especially who are in their like who are over 30 years of age. Now Ching has a very different uh, audience than what I focus on,
Mm-hmm.
but somehow I ran into his account, and I really love I don't even want to say content, but I just love like how he presented himself on social media. And I followed him for about 8, 9 months. We had a couple of conversations as well when he was at like 40K or 50K followers. And then I saw that he pivoted, not pivoted, but like he had another account as well, which was a business account. So that's when like it caught my attention. And the reason is because At the time, I was like, I had recently pivoted into fitness. I had no idea like how this business works,
Mm,
how to get leads and things like that, like how to even create content. Because like
mhm,
so far, I was only consuming Instagram as a like as a consumer, as a client, never like from a small business owner perspective.
mhm,
So like that's what where I was coming from. And so when I saw that Ching had this different account, I
mhm,
reached out to him again to like just like his content was so relatable and like it spoke directly to me.
mm,
And I think the biggest reason why I reached out to Ching was because he was not just talking the talk, he was also walking the walk as well, meaning he was doing what he was saying, as opposed to some coaches when like they would talk about how to grow your revenue or how to grow your followers, but like it doesn't really equate to like when you look at their accounts or like their content or personality. So I think
mm,
like that was the biggest reason why I reached out to Ching, even though we were like very different,
mhm.
very different target audience, I would say.
Thanks for sharing that. I never knew you found that the way I presented myself was interesting and that made you reach out. I don't think you told me that exactly before.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think I don't know, I may be wrong here, but I think you are an introvert.
Mm,
Uh, I can be wrong. You don't like
yeah.
I don't see you a lot in front of camera, and like I would say that I am also the same.
Mhm,
So you are not very in your face kind of person. So like there was definitely that personality that also attracted me because
mhm,
I also have something similar. So yeah, I don't think I ever mentioned it, but I think that was also one of the reasons.
mm. You'll be surprised that actually most entrepreneurs, most business people are actually introvert.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like you look at like a bit off the tangent here, but you look at like Elon Musk, all the top guys, yeah, a lot of them are actually introvert as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Mm.
Okay, I did not know that.
Maybe we have more time to think, reflect, and then work on our craft. Maybe
Yeah,
yeah, there's a science to
yep,
it. I don't know what, but there's a science to it. Yeah, but
that's true.
anyway, yeah, anyway, so you mentioned that we did talk like probably I don't know 7 8 months before you actually joined the program. So we have been working together for 3 months now, right? So before that, how long were you trying? I know you have been posting for a while. So talk us through that. How was the experience like before you joined the program?
Yeah, so I started posting so I only started posting pretty much since we started working together, but the reason was because like I was just overthinking it so much in my mind that I was not like, I didn't have like the courage to post it. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the reason, like, but it has been in my mind, like, it had been in my mind for about 6 to 8 months that I knew that, okay, this is what I want to do and I want to start posting. But it's just that not knowing what to post, or like you just go on Instagram, there are like so much fitness content. Do
Mm-hmm.
you want to blindly copy it? Do you want to bring your own creativity?
Mm-hmm.
While also focusing on like how to coach clients, or like the primary part of your business. So there was like a lot of that confusion around, okay, how do I even begin? Or like if I'm posting content, should I just post my workouts that I am doing in my gym versus like just providing value all the time? So like there was like so much confusion around it. There is so much content already on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I was questioning like what's even the point of me trying to do it? Why would someone even like watch my content?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was a point when it started feeling like content creation was becoming my full-time job, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to being a fitness and nutrition coach.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's when I think, so this was what was going on in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when on your business account, you had posted, there was something that you posted that spoke directly to me, and which was literally talking about the same thing, like how when you are trying to establish yourself as an online fitness coach, you are wearing so many hats.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, for example, content creation, sales, marketing, to just name a few.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I reached out to you again.
Mm-hmm.
And That's when we jumped on a call.
Yeah.
And I would also want to mention about the call as well that it never felt very salesy to me.
Mm,
Although, like, of course, maybe that was the ultimate goal, but it felt like you were just very genuine and like just wanted to talk about how it is. And that's the mindset I also went into the call with, which
mm,
was okay, if nothing, I'll just get to talk with a guy who grew his
mm,
Instagram from 0 to 75K
mm,
in 2 years or like whatever,
yeah.
18 months.
Mm,
That is what my mindset was.
mm,
And during the call, it just felt very genuine.
mm,
Um, and even though like I had budget constraints in my mind,
mm,
I just saw so much value
mm,
uh, that I went ahead with it.
mm. Yeah, we'll come back to this point, like what made you sort of make that decision in
Okay, okay,
yeah. But I
okay.
want to understand, um, when you first started out, I know you have been posted a bit of content, right? You tried some stuff. What was sort of your mindset towards content, like, compared to now? Like previously, what is your approach to content? Perhaps you have a different idea about content.
Okay, so I'll start with like what my approach was when I first began.
Mm,
Um, at that time, I had no idea how to post as a business coach, or like I did not even know that there is a thing as how to post as a fitness coach.
mm,
What I was doing was I was just pretty much posting my workouts. That is how I started. But
mm,
then soon I realized that, well, it's not going to be super helpful because the only people who were engaging with it was my friends and family, which is like four or five different people, but that's all.
mm,
And
mm,
that's when I started um, that's when I started listening to podcasts about different fitness coaches and like how to approach content. And that's when
mm,
like I learned about different pillars and things like that. So I already had thought about all those things when I started posting,
mm,
where like I had three different pillars. And then every week I would post one post per
mm.
pillar.
Yeah.
But even with that, the problem was it was just feeling that I was spending way too much time on content without like having a clear direction. However,
Mm,
there were pillars, but they were very broad.
mm,
So that was like the main thing. Like that was the main approach I had. Like I even though like I was listening to all these podcasts,
mm,
um, I also got some like lead magnets from different coaches as well, but it was not really helping me like narrow down a strategy of my own.
mm,
So that was the main struggle I had, where like
mm.
I was spending 2 hours a day
A day
every
on content.
on content. Yeah.
Wow. And how often were you posting back then?
I was posting at the same frequency that I'm posting right now, which is 3 times a week.
And how much time are you spending now?
I think I'm spending like I know that I can get better,
Mm,
but I'm spending about, I would say, 2 hours alternate days. So it's like 50% of what I was spending before.
And you're getting better result as well,
I
right?
am getting better results. I am getting better as well. So I know that I'll continue to optimize that time as well.
100%.
I
Yeah.
already have a strategy in place that I'm using for posting on my like feed,
Mm,
meaning like after we work together, I have a strategy for that.
mm.
I just need to get a couple more things tied up to
Yeah,
like
of
make it
course.
more efficient.
Yeah, of course. I think the more you create over time, it's gonna get easier and easier and easier. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you
Yeah.
can pump out more content as well. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you were posting, you were following this pillar. You mentioned that your followers were and engaged in people who engage are mostly your family members, your friends. Like so were you working with any clients previously in terms of like strangers? Are they paying you? Walk us through that.
I did not have any strangers as my clients at the time. I was mostly focused on my friends and family. So I started with just like a beta program, which was focused on my friends and family.
Mm,
And that's pretty much it. Like no one was really reaching out to me. And I
mm,
was not even thinking about that. I did not even know that people could reach out without us reaching out to them.
You didn't even believe
So
that.
yeah, it was like, yeah, that was not believable to me.
Mm,
Uh, but then now that's what's happening. Like I have people who are directly reaching out to me without me even like posting a lead magnet or a story. They are
mm,
directly reaching out.
reaching out. And how many followers do you have now?
I have right now I have 1477, meaning almost 1500 followers. When we started working, I think I had about 350 followers.
Yeah, so with just 1,000, 1,500, it's not even that much, right? And you're still getting consistent inbound leads, people reaching out for
Exactly,
your
yeah.
target audience.
Exactly. So this is just 3 months of consistent and strategic work that
Mm.
got me from that to here. But like it gave me the confidence that I can keep going.
Yeah,
And while I'm also getting inbounds directly from my followers.
yeah, 100%. Imagine 1 year from now, if you keep going, it's only been 3 months, you almost 5 times or 4 times your follower count. Yeah, and imagine the amount of inbound leads you can get 1 year from now.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's almost unbelievable, but yeah,
yeah,
almost.
and it's only getting better from here. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask as well, you could have continued listening to podcasts, you could have continued to watch my content. What made you sort of pull that trigger? I know for you the budget was tight as well. You quit your job, there's bills to pay. What made you decide to invest in yourself and take that risk?
I would say it was pretty much I was let me think about that one. That is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I was already sold on your fundamentals, on your philosophy. I used to like follow your Instagram and also your threads.
Mm-hmm.
So I was already sold there. What I was not sure of is whether like this is the right time for me to invest in a coach.
Mm-hmm.
But after we spoke, I think like something shifted there, where you were super genuine. It felt like when you showed your blueprint process, it felt like this was like very much personalized. We'll get to work together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so sure, like you can listen to all the podcasts, you can look at all the lead magnets, but it's very hard to apply that theory to your own situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like talking to you, like during that call, it felt like I will get a lot of value from directly working with you one on one, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just like seeing your content.
Like a course and stuff, right?
Yeah, like the bi-weekly calls that we will have. Then you said you would also provide feedback on the content I was doing. So like that was also giving me a lot of confidence, like when we were working together. So now I feel confident when I post something that, okay, this is not something stupid or something useless
Mm-hmm.
because you have reviewed a lot of my content as well. And you have given feedback to me on like what things are working well and what things
Mm-hmm.
I can improve on. So I think it was mostly the personalized part that you don't really get from podcast or just looking at an Instagram account is what actually drew me to invest in.
Mm, yeah, like the one-on-one aspect, the time that I spend reviewing your content. All right. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah. But
exactly.
yeah, like you said, there's a lot of content courses that you can join, but it's like they give you all this information and then you hope for the best, right? And then you try and error. Whereas they
Exactly.
give you direct feedback so that you know exactly what to change, what to tweak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, like when you are an online fitness coach, you already have 10 different things to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Where like I wanted to make sure I'm providing that quality service to my clients. I was driving results there.
Mm-hmm.
But then if I kept focusing on my content, the people that I already had as my clients, I had the fear that I won't be able to dedicate enough time to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I went ahead. Like that's why the investment was worth it, because I wanted to focus on like the quality of my business as well, as opposed to just try to figure all things by myself when it comes to content.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And do you find it worth it now after after three
Oh
months?
yeah, totally worth it. Yep. Right.
Yeah. So So, after the program, after we work together, what are some of the biggest lessons that you learn about content, as well as just like the online coaching space?
Yeah. I think the biggest lesson that I learned was everyone says that fitness is so saturated on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's true. I think
Mm-hmm.
like this was the biggest like eye-opening moment that I had, where the fact that so many people are still reaching out to me, or there are 1,500 people who followed my content,
Mm-hmm.
it shows that there is, like, yes, there is a lot of content, but there is also a lot of noise. So the biggest learning was you have to figure out how to just like differentiate yourself,
Mm-hmm.
or have the messaging super clear,
Mm-hmm.
so that like you connect with the audience. So that was like the biggest thing, because when I first started, there
Mm-hmm.
were times when I was also questioning myself that should I just go back to a 9 to 5, because this is such a saturated field.
Mm-hmm.
But that also shifted while we were working together last three
Mm-hmm.
months. Is it felt like there is definitely opportunity still there. So that was
Yeah.
my biggest learning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some of the other things that I learned was you don't have to like reinvent the wheel or something. There are already things that exist.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started, I would spend so much time thinking about content from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but working with Ching, like that made this super easy. Where like, okay, I don't have to start from scratch. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have this, what do we call it?
Like the
The,
tools, the blueprint,
the blueprint, tools,
the framework,
the doc that we had were like different categories and 10 points
the
in there.
one-stop content guideline.
The one-stop content guideline,
Yeah.
all those things, like it was mind-blowing to me, like how you can standardize or make your life so much easier when it comes to content. Like it does not mean, there were times when I would sit with my husband watching television at like on a Friday evening at 8 p.m. and I would still think about content.
Mm,
Now I don't do that because I know that I can like go to those frameworks, I can go to those tools where a lot of content already exists. So I don't have to
yeah.
start from scratch every time. So that was pretty amazing. That was like a good learning for me.
Mm. Yeah, well, so last time you were like constantly stressing about content, what to post next.
Exactly. So now I don't worry about what to post next. Like, let's say if like there's definitely like a content calendar that I'm following, but even if someone tells me that, okay, you need to post something in 30 minutes, I know I can do it. I can post something. So like that
Well,
has been a big game changer.
yeah. No, I'm glad that you mentioned all of that. First of all, it's like how a lot of people think that it's too saturated. Like, what's special about me that people want to listen? But ultimately, it's coming down to knowing who exactly that you want to help, the type of person that you want to help, right? So, for example, like you help Indian women in the US, right? That is a very specific niche, but just knowing that is not enough as well, right? It's about knowing how to speak to them, and there's a framework to it, right? And how do you find like the tools that I give you? I know you said like it save a lot of time, like maybe just share a bit of insight to how it looks like, how it changed the game for you.
Yeah. So there are like, when it comes to frameworks, there is that main four S's framework that you have, which is like pretty bang on, I would say. Like it's pretty amazing. Um, and yes, like those frameworks exist everywhere. I used to have three pillars as well. But I think when we had our one-on-one where you walked me through those four types of content, I was very overwhelmed. And I
Mm,
messaged you as well that, okay, Cheng, like this is really overwhelming. But then you were like, you reached out again and we had more discussion around it. So in terms of like knowing what I want to do with my business. Do I want to grow it? Do I want to grow in terms of followers, grow in terms of revenue? Like the
mm,
framework was pretty clear that, okay, if you want to do this, this is where you go. If you want to do this, this is where you go. As opposed to earlier, I was just spinning all my wheels and like not moving forward at all. So that like 4S framework was extremely helpful to understand like what kind of content does what.
Mm.
Secondly, the one stop one stop content
Content guideline.
guideline.
I
Yes,
need to
one
come up with better names.
yeah, it's very hard, yes. One stop content guideline, um, or whatever that is. Yeah, so that is super helpful. That is where I know that I can always fall back on it when I'm out. Like, there's no such thing as running out of ideas for me, at least
100%.
right
Yeah.
now.
Mm.
But like 3 months is a long time, and I don't feel I've run out of ideas. Like, I
Yeah.
already have so many ideas because of that guideline.
Yes,
And the
yes.
good thing is, this is like a gift that keeps giving, meaning like Ching also explained like how to never run out of content ideas. Like
Mhm.
I'm getting to talk to my target audience pretty much every week, and how I can use that conversation for my content creation as well. So like these are the tools that he provide. Like these are the frameworks that Ching provided, which is very helpful.
Mhm.
In addition to that, there are also tools that he provided where like there are different kind of bots. So there is a bot for me to create VSL. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a bot that would help me create VSL. So like there's a lot of heavy lifting, and especially like as someone who comes from tech,
Mhm.
I know like how useful these AI tools are. And as a business owner, when you are wearing so many hats, AI
Mhm.
definitely makes your life easier. But then Ching is already providing those AI tools as well. So it's pretty amazing. And then there are also small things that like you don't think about when you are like working on your own, for example, like recording these calls and
Mhm.
using those notes as well for your own research purposes.
Yeah.
But like that was also pretty cool.
Mm. Yeah. No, I try my best to give, you guys as much support because like for someone who just come from like a tech background into like starting posting content, coaching, there's so many hats that you need to wear. As you mentioned, as you know, right? That's why I want to make it as simple as possible for you. And also like in terms of running out content ideas, I always say this, the reason that you are not sure what to post is because you are not clear with your messaging. Like for example, for myself, right? I've been posting for 2 years now, almost 2 years. Sometimes when I'm like showering, I can still like, oh wait, I have a new idea in my head. Like it's because of the framework, and you know how to speak to your target audience, which makes them reach out, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I think you are crushing it with your content. You are getting all the framework, like almost down to the T. And that is the most important thing is to actually understand them, not just me telling you what to post. But once you understand those framework, you can improvise even if in the future you sort of switch up your niche or you go into a different industry, those framework works as well.
It'll
Right.
work. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it
Mhm.
also happens that yes, when we were working together, I understood those things, but then when I'm actually implementing it, I'm not able to like remember those things. Or
Mm.
so then I know that there are tools I can go back to. Like there is so much documentation that you shared with me, all these docs that we work together on. So I do that as well,
Mm.
uh, like because I tend to do same kind of stuff. So then I have to remind myself that, okay, I want to focus on the other S, not just like a lot of solve, solve, solve. Because like as someone who was just an Instagram consumer, like
Mm.
you tend to do a lot of solve content. Uh,
Yeah.
but then you have to remember that if you want to sell something, or if you want
Mm.
to increase your followers, or whatever your goal is, you
Mm.
want to create other type of content as well. And like now I'm very aware of that. So that's
Mm.
why I keep going to the Google Doc that you have created, where I want to ensure that there's like a mix of content that I'm sharing.
Yeah. So you know how to pull the lever now, like based on the result that you're looking for, you know what to do now with the content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I like the transformation that I can actually see happening in front of my eyes. Like how much you have changed from the beginning until like now, right? Because you were so lost with content when we first spoke. Now you are like an expert. You can even teach people now with content. Yeah,
I will just send them to you, Ching.
perfect. That's even better. I'll give you a commission.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, walk us through the results. Like, what are some of the biggest achievement, the changes that you have achieved within these 3 months?
Yeah.
Mm,
So when I think of results, like obviously there are two types of results. One is like quantifiable and something which is not quantifiable.
mm,
Um, I'll definitely talk about quantifiable results as well, where like it's measurable, you can like see it. But I think the biggest transformation or the biggest result that I've seen after working together is how much confident I feel, not just in my content creation, but like in my overall business as well. And the
mm,
reason is because working with you, it made me clear not just on the content fundamentals, but like what I think about fitness, like what are my philosophies and things like that. So it has like brought that overall confidence, which shows up in my content when I go into a sales call.
mm,
So it definitely like not just sales call, but also like client one-on-one check-in, weekly check-in calls. So
mm,
that is like the biggest thing, and I don't have any number to show for it.
mm.
But like I feel at ease when I think about content, when I think about
Yeah,
sales calls, and like the coaching aspect as well.
yeah,
That's the
no,
biggest result.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, in
in
terms of
terms,
the yeah, sorry, just on that, right? In terms of the mindset, right? That is the biggest thing with business. A lot of people think that is like tactics, what sort of strategy do I need? But the biggest thing that actually plays the biggest part in terms of the result that we achieve is actually the mindset. And that is the big part. And that is something that at the beginning I think I told you a lot. Is like you have to break that self-limiting belief so that first is you can show up in your content better. Second is you have to believe that people actually reach out to you and you can actually grow your account because if you don't believe that, how are you gonna even achieve that? And I think that is the biggest block with a lot of people when they try to get into like posting content, growing their account, attracting more client, is that mental block. And you can see it, the amount of the importance of mindset, right? See
yeah,
beginning till now. Yeah.
yeah,
And even
because
yeah.
especially like coming from a 9 to 5,
Mm,
when you had like a stable paycheck versus doing this, where you know it's seasonal, you know things will be different, you know like engagement also differs from like weekdays versus weekends.
mm,
Um, it can be a lot mentally, and even though like as you said you might have all the right tools, but like if you are mentally not like equipped for it, there's
mm,
no point of all those tools. And that is what something that definitely shifted once we started working together. And
mm,
I also like the fact that there were times when we were not even on calls, but like I would just send you a message because you kept checking in with me as well, that hey Surbi, how is it going, how's the week so far? And I'll just say that it's not going good. And then you'd be like, you'll always like come up with some like helpful tools there, or maybe like in the next call, we will talk about that. So that was definitely very helpful.
mm,
So yeah, the mindset aspect for sure. Now talking about what are the other things, like as I said, my content creation time, I would
mm,
say like the time that I'm spending on content is 50% of what it used to be. So that is pretty amazing. I also have the confidence that what I'm posting right now is, which is 3 times a week. I
mm,
know I can increase that a little bit, but I'm keeping that as a buffer. But like with all the frameworks that I have, I can easily go from posting 3 times to posting 4 to 5 times a week.
mm,
Um, what else? My follower count has definitely increased,
mm,
and it's not just random increase, it's also like people who are my target audience. So that's pretty amazing. One of the things that I also struggled a lot with when I first started content creation was my content kept going to the audience who were not my target audience.
mm,
So now, like I worked with Ching, and eventually, like we were able to um, train the Instagram algorithm about like
mm.
who my target audience is, and it came down to that clear messaging.
Yeah.
So
It's
now
not training the algorithm, it's getting the messaging right so the right people follow you. Yeah.
yes, yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty amazing. Like that was something my biggest issue. It's like, what is even the point of me creating content if my content is not even being shown to the right audience? So like that's where I think having that clear messaging was super helpful, is
Mm.
now it is shown to the right audience.
Yeah, 100%. And also, one biggest thing is before we started working together, how much were you charging your clients
Oh
compared
yeah.
to now?
I was not confident in my pricing at all, and I was charging one third of what, no. So I was charging about, should I just tell the exact number?
Yeah, yeah, you can just say
Okay.
it.
Okay. So I was charging about 150. I'll just say per month. Okay. So I was charging about $50 per month, and this was mostly for my friends and family, like folks. But for like regular audience, my plan was to charge about $100 per month.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we started talking, Ching didn't only help me with like the content part of it, but like also the coaching part, the pricing and sales part. So this is where we kept refining the pricing as well, depending on how I don't know, depending on what.
Depending on the offer, what they need,
Yeah,
right?
so we work together to refine the offer depending on
Mm-hmm.
like what the program look like, and like whatever. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but give us the tea. Like, how much are you charging now? The last two.
Okay, so I used to charge about $100 per month, but now I'm charging $300 per month, which is already three times of what I was charging before.
Mm.
And I know that I want to keep improving this. So like I worked with Ching on a strategy on like how to keep refining this offer as well, which is pretty amazing. Like I did not really think about how the pricing needs to evolve as well. So
Mm.
yeah, so that was also pretty helpful.
Yeah. And did you, when we first started compared to now, did you ever imagine yourself charging this price? And do you even imagine like people actually pay that price for coaching?
So to be honest, I did not imagine that to happen so soon.
Mm.
Like I know that people invest a lot of money into health and fitness and their well-being, but I did not think that I did not have the confidence that I can charge that amount.
Mm.
If we were not working together, I would maybe still charging 100, 150, something like that, because I would have kept waiting for that confidence that, okay, I need to do this for next couple of years before I can charge that kind of amount. So that's pretty amazing that like what I was able to do within like three months of working together.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that this is the same with a lot of people who are just starting out as well. They think they need like 1 year, 2 year to reach there. But actually, when you know what you are exactly doing, the value that you're providing, you're gonna show up more confident. You're gonna feel like, wait, why am I charging so little? Even right now, you're charging 300 per month. But I know deep down, you know you can charge a lot more, and you feel like it's not your value is way higher than that, right? Because of what you provide.
That's true. And that's what gave me confidence that we have already talked about it, and there is a strategy around how I would keep refining that price as well.
Hmm. Yeah. No, it's good. I think it's good. It's going to be upwards from here if you continue to implement what you're doing because you're only 3 months in. There's so much more that you can improve by just repeating the same process,
Hmm.
getting good at it. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
but I mean, I'm super happy to see your progress, honestly, from the first day that we spoke to this day, like completely different, not just your account, you as a person, your mindset, and most importantly, the people that you can impact, right? Imagine that you never really put yourself out there. Like, it's not just yourself at loss, it's also the people that you are able to impact.
Yeah, that's pretty, yeah, that's a really good perspective. And I remember when we first spoke about pricing,
Mm.
you did talk about some of these things. It's like, don't just think about the money, but think about the value that you are providing them. And like that itself was like a big mindset shift.
Mm.
Like it's not about $100, $200, but it's like the impact that you're going to have in their life. And like most times, the like people I work with, they are women, moms.
Mm.
So it's not just their health, but like their kids' health improve. They're like it's like overall family's health improve. So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, when you put it like that, it's like you taking that one action actually have this ripple effect on other people's life. So
Yeah,
you should be proud of yourself for taking that step. Yeah.
yeah.
So what would you say
Thank you.
to, yeah, what would you say to other people who are on the fence, other coaches who are on the fence, they're perhaps thinking if they should take this leap of faith, invest in themselves, like thinking back to that, if that old Surabhi was beside you, what would you say to her?
I would say that like if you are serious about it, if you want to go all in on it, and if you really want to like grow your business, grow your account, I think like this is one of the best things you can do because it will take away so much heavy lifting from your business, that you will be able to focus on other important part of your business that require your like bigger attention.
Mm.
So yeah, it's 100%, 110% worth it. I definitely do it again.
Mm, nice. And how about the fear that people might have? Like, how did you overcome that yourself?
So yes, I had the fear of like what if I invest this money and I don't make any of it again, and what if like I just lose all of it?
Mm.
Um, I think like what there was definitely that fear, but looking at the process that you had, I knew that even if it does not translate to my account followers increasing, I'll still take away a lot from it in terms of it will just. So the pain was so big in like that I had like it didn't feel like a big risk to take. Like it was worth trying it out, and then like you being already doing the things that you were teaching and then you already showing the results
Mm.
on your Instagram. I think that all made it worth it.
Mm.
So
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. And were you ready when you decide to pull a trigger, or you just like get over that fear and do it nevertheless?
I was ready, like, because I had been trying this for like a couple of months, and it was just taking so much on of my mental bandwidth that, like, I was ready to like do something about it. I
Mm.
just did not know what, and like having that conversation with you gave me clarity on like what it should be. So,
Mm.
yeah, like talking to old Surbi, like I'm sure now she would also agree that like this was an amazing step because like how easier content feels now, how easier it feels to like show up in front of my target audience.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. No, thanks for sharing all of that, Surabhi. Yeah. Any last word that you like to share before we go?
Um, the only thing I think I've spoken about this a lot, but the only thing I'll say is I had talked to another mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
I had talked to another mentorship company,
Mm.
and it was so I was open to coaching, I was open to mentorship, but
Mm.
then it didn't really click with them because like how salesy they were, it did not feel genuine. It just felt like I would be another cog in the wheel. It just felt like that, but it did not feel like that when I talked to Ching.
Mm.
Uh, it felt very genuine. So I think the biggest and I think like this translates to like fitness coaching as well, is like you don't buy into a brand or content or like an Instagram account, you buy into the person.
Mm.
So like this was my biggest takeaway is I was sold on Ching's
Mm.
fundamentals, philosophy, and that's why like even though the other company might be bigger in terms of revenue or like how long it has been around and things like that, it did not really matter.
Mm.
Um, and I would say like the same thing, like I would like to think about the same thing also applies in fitness. And that's what gives me confidence that even though there are other coaches who have existed for a long time, um, it's not about the brand, it's not about the Instagram account, it's about like who you are as a person and like how you are showing that in like how you are showing that in your content on Instagram and things like that. So I would say like that was the biggest reason why I chose to work with you.
Well, I appreciate that. And that is exactly what I teach as well in my content. And like that's what I always tell you as well.
Yeah,
Is how you
exactly.
yeah, how you wanna sell yourself. Your messaging is gonna do the heavy lifting and not so you don't have to struggle on the sales call, try to objection handling, right? Just show up genuine. They really saw on you.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. And that was also one of the things that blew my mind that, okay, this can also happen because the other company I talked to,
Mhm.
they kept talking about how we will do so many mock interviews to help you prepare for your first sales call and things like that. But working with you, it felt amazing that I don't need to do those things.
Yeah, we
My
barely
content
even
will
do any
do it.
sales call and you managed to close like
Yep,
yeah.
we never did that. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I don't want to keep this into too long. We'll end it here. But yeah, thanks for showing up, Surabhi.
Yeah, I hope this was helpful.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.